Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway, because their slogan is, Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM-certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop Click Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome to episode 62 of the month. We're going with it.
Definitely.
If anyone out there keeps track of our episode numbers better than us, give us a shout.
I mean, they keep track of our cervixes.
They do keep track of our cervixes.
So they probably can do episode numbers.
Things I didn't think we would talk about today.
Okay.
Thought we had plenty of cervix talk earlier.
I've got more.
Oh.
So we're going to talk Mavs a little bit and sports, but when they announced Luka's last injury, cervical strain, did you not think about your cervix or his? I was like, wait a second. No, that doesn't make any sense. It's not a cervix injury, but it sounds like it.
That never entered my mind, but I love that it entered yours. I think it's cute.
Cervical strain. Okay.
Cervical.
If someone all of a sudden was like, Emily, what's a cervical strain?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
You would think cervix.
Don't you have like a cervical spine? Is that?
Well, it's like a shoulder back. It's back here because that's what.
I don't know a lot about
injured. I don't
anatomy.
Either. I don't either, but it just like makes sense that cervical could be like a cervix strain. So then if you strain your cervix, what the hell do you call that?
You can't strain at your cervix. Like,
how do you know?
I don't, but I feel good in saying that. My unqualified medical opinion is that you can't. How do you strain your cervix? Doing it too hard?
Birthing? Doing it too hard.
Well, this escalated quickly.
Right off the top today.
All right.
So right off the top. That didn't take long.
Episode 62.
Episode 62. So this is
cervixes and doing it too hard.
And doing it too hard. I'm sure there's some injuries that could happen from doing it too hard.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let's talk about the Mavericks.
Let's talk about the Mavericks. You have on your Mavericks blue.
I do.
It looks very pretty today.
Thank you. Can you look at me? I have makeup on.
I know. You're fresh off of a vacay.
Clothes, and I actually brush my hair. It's kind of a cool thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I have to work tonight. So, and so when we're taping this, well, the Rangers are on the road, and now we have to go into the studio to do the road shows. And
you're not at the
ballpark anymore. Now we're back in the studio. Right. Money, 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 money.
It costs money to use the ballpark?
It's trucks, something. I don't know. Anyway.
Because it's like kind of like a remote.
But my favorite part about road broadcast has been the fact that it's party down low, business up top.
Right.
So I could rock some yoga pants and tennis shoes and then just wear a cute blouse or something. And I received word today that it's full length in the studio. So I'm like
the whole time, are you standing up?
I have no idea. I don't know. This is my first
show
time.
Off that hot mamba.
Oh, I mean, let me tell you.
They want those ratings to jump.
Can you imagine? I mean,
no more Fox Sports girls. It's all on you.
Oh, Jesus. Let's hope not.
No pressure.
We got some young arms in the bullpen that are doing just fine in that regard.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not counting on me in the looks department. Trust me.
I beg to differ. You're a very nice, professional, beautiful reporter.
Well, thank you very much. All right, Mavs.
So the big talk right now in Dallas is the Dallas Mavericks. When this episode airs, they will be getting set for Game 5 in LA, now tied up 2 games apiece after having a 2-0 series lead. Winning 2 games in LA, coming back to Dallas, playing Friday and Sunday at the American Airlines Center.
So when
losing both home games.
And I loved watching it on television. The atmosphere looked incredible. You were there.
Yes.
The first game, right?
I was so excited.
You were like so giddy.
I was so giddy. It was so much fun. I posted like a photo on Twitter. I never do that. I'm sure you saw it. It was like, I was just so excited. It was a live sporting event with a packed full arena of fans, which we haven't had in over a year, which is just insane because so much of the fun of sports is the fans and going to games. And it was such a big part of our life and my life and your life. But we went to like every Stars game for, 8 years or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's just so different and boring and desolate and depressing. Like I tried to go to some Stars games with not many fans and I just kind of stopped. I was like, this is or whatever, masks. And
well, I mean, I told you opening day, I got like emotional. Like I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these people.
The Rangers have had it all
so
season.
Beautiful. Right. And just to digress just a little bit.
Yeah.
It is so nice that like the numbers didn't spike after that because people couldn't wait. They were like, oh, you're so dangerous doing this, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, just wait 2 weeks and see what happens. And then
there's going to be deaths, blood's on your hands, Rangers, or whatever. It's why are you so excited about people potentially? Like, no, just.
Nothing happened. And then they're like, just wait 2 more weeks and see what happens. No, still.
Well, the disease can incubate for 14 days, so just give it 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's almost like people were rooting for that to happen, which
so weird.
I'll never understand that. Like, I don't.
They want to be right. Or there's political agenda, which is just so tired head. So
okay. Back to the Mavericks.
Can we like cheers to the Rangers? I mean, someone had to be the first one to do it.
Okay, we can cheers to that because
cheers to the Rangers being bold. Yes. Like they were bold. They were like, we want. I mean, I'm sure money is a big part of it.
Yeah. Oh,
but everybody. I think there's a big part of the population that wanted to be back, and people want to have some normalcy back in our lives, and someone's got to be the first one to do it. Yes. And everything was fine, and now everybody's doing it. Mm-hmm. Even up in Canada, they're having like 2,500 fans at hockey games, and it's such a big deal because Canada is behind us in this whole thing because they're not getting the vaccine out very quickly at all because it's coming from here.
Right. You said we should cheers.
Cheers, Rangers. Cheers, fans.
Yes.
Cheers to sports just kind of being back and being normal again. So the Mavs game was just so fun. All the goosebumps, all the feels. So funny because we have a good friend who works for the Mavericks, and I knew that like I could text him and get tickets, but I was trying really hard not to. I just didn't want to be annoying.
Right.
We work in sports, like you know how that is, and so I was like that meme, like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I did it. That was me. I was trying so hard not to text him. I was like, you'll be fine, not going to the game. You don't have to go. You can watch on TV. And the more we talked about it at work every day, I was like, I need to be there because I get so excited about Luka Doncic. I just feel like he is one of the best. He is one of the best players in the game. He's somebody that people are going to be talking about for a long time. And if you have the opportunity to see him in person, the first time fans are back in an arena for a playoff game, I'm like, I'm doing it. And of course, like, he's so nice, my friend. He's like, of course, here's your tickets. Like, don't be a weirdo. I was like, thank you. You know.
I know. But it's, you know how it is when people ask for tickets.
I know, that's why I didn't want to do it.
But you know what I think is so funny is like my family and like really close friends will be like, I'm so sorry to ask you this. And,
I know.
And I'm like, but then meanwhile, some dude who doesn't even have my number to text me, but will message me on fucking Facebook and ask me for tickets.
Text him. I'm like, who are you?
What? Who? Yeah. No. And I tweeted this one time. It was like, if you don't have my digits, you're not getting tickets. Right. Like if we're not close enough where you have my phone number, like you're not getting tickets.
Just don't even ask.
No, don't be a jackass.
Right. Well, like, some people don't have that like filter. They don't understand.
No.
So I was trying not to be, but you're right. Like if it's someone you're actually like, he was like, yeah, of course. Like, and if it was us and someone wanted Stars tickets, like I try to help people that we know, like who you want going. And they have an allotment of tickets for friends or family or media and all that. So I was very thankful to him. And Kelly and I got a kind of last minute sitter. She was 15, but she was great.
You know, sometimes those are the best ones.
I know.
Because they're still young enough to where they're taking the whole babysitting thing very seriously.
And her mom is our normal nanny.
Okay.
And so and she was like, oh, she's great. She'll be fine. And I've known her for a while. It did get a little hairy when it was like 1 a.m. before we were home. I was like, Kelly, we got to get home because it was an 8:30 start.
Okay. Did you have to drive her home?
No, her dad was waiting outside, I think, for like an hour.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's the only thing about having a babysitter that can't drive. You're like, it's not, if I'm going to be out,
I know. I know. No, her
wanna.
dad was there. You know what else though? Sometimes I wonder about like if babysitters need like a hidden camera and they could have a really good reality TV show of all the drunk ass moms coming home.
Dude, the thing that gets me when we have a baby, my husband will throw down the most ridiculous bullshit. Like the things he's talking about, like trying
making
to
all the jokes and
oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so thick. Like, what are you doing?
He's like, I've got a live audience in my living room.
Yeah, we're paying her. I mean, what else am I going to do?
She's got to laugh.
Yeah, I mean.
But the dad and babysitter combos when you're not in the room, those are always, because I'm never ready.
Right.
Ever. When the
so
babysitter
then they just gotta
so I just hear him and like,
some time.
Sweet Kelly's just being so nice and like, but he doesn't know what to say and they don't know what to say. Yep. I can totally see Mike hamming it up.
Are you kidding? He's like all over it. Like it's a captive audience. Yeah. Like, oh, she's sitting here and
better than nothing, I guess.
Whatever.
Better than nothing.
But it does crack me up. I mean, every time we get in the car, I'm like, well, what were you doing there? Like, what are you talking to her about? Come on.
Just be cool. Just be normal.
Yeah. Just
be normal.
Low key.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Back to the Mavericks.
So that game was, I mean, like one of the coolest sporting events I've been to. The Mavericks couldn't miss a shot. Like Luka was hitting every shot, multiple threes. I think it was like a 30-8 lead at one point. Something just ridiculous where I looked at Kelly, like once the Clippers like made a couple baskets, I looked at him and was like, I didn't think they were going to score like this whole time. I thought it was just going to be like 100 to like 20. That's how it felt. You know, I didn't really, but that's how it felt. It just felt like there was magic in the air and Luka's like got this and he's on fire. And once he's on fire, you know, there's no turning back for the opponent. But, you know, Luka can't play the whole game and they pulled him out. And that's when the Clippers started to go on a run. And Kawhi Leonard is just really good. He's really good at basketball.
He is.
And they have a good supporting cast as well. And that's what I think the Mavericks are currently trying to figure out is that supporting cast. And then
it looks bad.
It's not looking great. But the biggest thing I think is Luka's health if we're going to have any sort of chance in this series. So for those who may not have noticed or heard or whatever. So the Mavericks won the first two games in LA, came home to that game 3, which I was talking about, lost that one. It was a lot closer than game 4. Still wasn't super close in the end. The Clippers kind of ran away with it. Game 4, the Mavericks just totally shit the bed.
Oh my gosh. It was so hard to watch.
Shit the bed. Now Luka apparently couldn't turn left. Because of his contusion.
He looked like he was on the verge of vomiting. He was in so much pain. You know when you hurt so much, you vomit?
Yes.
He looked like that.
It's just so painful to watch. And it was like...
And the basketball was terrible. I mean, the Mavericks looked...
Well, I think there are other people that could like help fill the void, but everyone's just used to Luka like having the ball the whole game and controlling the play, dominating the play, that they're kind of like on the fly once you realize how bad his injury is, having to adjust, and they couldn't do that on the fly against the Clippers in a playoff game. Like that's to me kind of what happened. So the series now tied 2 games apiece, and as of today, Tuesday, Luka was not on the injury report for tomorrow, for Game 5. So fingers crossed, like he, I don't know, had a really nice massage or some good drugs, or maybe it's one of those things. It made me think about when you, and I'm sure it's like this times a million, but like when you wake up out of bed and you've slept the wrong way, and you're just like you're doing this all day, you're like I can't talk, like. Because Rick Carlisle said, he was like, I could tell he wasn't able to turn left. And like his whole thing is like, he's got great peripheral vision of the whole floor. And like, he can figure out where to get the ball out to, and he can't turn. So obviously there's going to be an issue there. But it made me think of that feeling, but like times a million for an NBA basketball player. So I think this whole series is dictated on Luka's health. Yeah, so for sure. They don't stand a chance. They play. He's like he was in Game 4.
Game 5 in LA. So they is it 2-2-1-1-1?
It's 2-2-1-1-1.
Has it always been 2-2-1-1-1?
As long as I can remember. I mean, in recent history.
Where did I get 2-3-2? Maybe that's baseball that I'm thinking.
I think at one point it was. But like
Baseball's 2-3-2, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had
2-2, because NBA and hockey have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And I like it. 2-2-1-1-1.
I do too.
Game 6 is going to be Friday night in Dallas, which is my birthday.
Oh, hey now.
So we had all these like kind of birthday plans, and then like we're starting to we were just going to go to a bar, like nothing crazy, like meet at the bar at 9:00 after you get the kids to bed, just this little, dive bar by our house. And then I realized it was game 6. I was like, no one's going to want to come. Like we got to just cancel. So anyway, that's how I know. Game 6 will be.
What time is it though?
I don't know if they've officially announced it. I think they're saying 8:30 though.
Why don't you just have a game watching party at the bar for your birthday?
Well, because I think a lot of people are going to the game. And also, I don't think this bar is like a game watching place.
Oh.
It's just like a get hammered and do karaoke place.
Ooh, that's fun too.
Speaking of, man, were my hangovers back over Memorial Day weekend?
What happened?
I don't know. Remember that, how I told you I had that really bad, like mysterious hangover? It happened again. It happened after an event we went to on Thursday. There were ranch waters involved.
Okay.
And I thought that was safer than wine.
Okay.
And apparently not. I think I'm dealing with a lot of what the general public is dealing with, and just going out again and like
real
having
excited.
fun. And like there was live music there, like a bunch of my friends, we were outside, the weather was nice. And I don't know how to keep it under control. And it's nothing like I'm out there going totally crazy. It's like, I'm fine. I go home, but then the next day I'm just hurting.
Yeah.
It happened again. And I had to work Friday.
Oof.
And then Saturday we went to the pool, and I had like 3 drinks, literally like all day, and went home and was going to watch that game 4. I was so excited about it, and like zonked out with the kids. I like fell asleep with Anna in bed at like 9, woke up at like 11. I was like, Kelly, what happened? Did we win? He's like, we're getting killed. It's like halftime. I was like, well, gotta go watch. So I like woke up, went, sat down, watched the game. I poured, so I found out about these like liquid IV things. And so I'm like, well, I gotta have one of these. So I like was chugging like liquid IV and then chips and queso from like 2 nights before. And I watched the end of the Mavs game. And then I like started tweeting. I was like, I gotta stop. I gotta put my phone away. But that was the really bad game. And I was all confused about like what time it was and what day it was and why the Mavs were getting killed. And anyways, enough about me. How was your Memorial Day weekend?
It was good. It was good. The kids and I went to Virginia to be there for my niece's graduation party.
Yeah.
So it was super, super fun. But speaking of mysterious illnesses, so we set up for the party on Saturday, she was, grateful I was there to help plan stuff and organize things or whatever. So I was so happy to do that. And then I got in the shower to get ready for the party. It started at 4. 2:00, I get in the shower, and by 3:00, I'm vomiting.
Oh no, Emily!
Violently, which I forgot. It's been so long since I've puked.
Yeah,
I forgot how awful it is. You like feel like you can't breathe, and stuff is just coming, and it won't stop. And there's chunks, and it's like, oh my god, make it stop. Because there's no worse feeling than feeling like you need to vomit, except for vomiting. Right. But then you feel good for like that 5 minutes.
You're better.
You're like,
better.
I'm back in the game.
Yeah. All I had to do was vomit.
And then it's like, no, you're not. You're not back in the game. So I like got dressed, and then I would like lay in the bed with all my clothes on and my shoes and everything. And I'm like, I'll be out there in just a minute. I promise. I mean, and no, I had not been drinking at all. I mean, for God's sake, it was 2:00 in the afternoon. Right. I mean, not that I'm above that, but I had not been in this case. And I say this at 4:07 and we're having a glass of wine, whatever. But I had not been drinking. And so, I just basically laid in bed and like FaceTimed my husband. And I was like, I'm so sick. Don't know if I can get on a plane like this tomorrow and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, it was like an 8
Did it go away?
It went away.
Weird.
So I puked for like 8 hours, laid in bed and watched Drive to Survive, the F1 series. Totally hooked.
It was good?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on season 3.
I've heard it's good.
The 3rd season. Totally into it.
Yeah.
So I knocked out like 2 seasons of F1
Drive to Survive. I can't imagine like loud noises on TV.
Well, it wasn't. Well, I was watching on my iPhone, so it was very muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even worse though.
Yeah.
Headache. But whatever. I mean, everybody's different.
Yes. So anyway, then we
I'm
came.
sorry.
Yeah, but they had a great time. My kids stayed up till like midnight, like dancing with the high school graduates, and the party went on for quite some time. And then we came home on Sunday, and then yesterday we hung out with some friends at their pool in the rain. And
I know.
Fucking rain.
I feel like everyone was really forcing Memorial Day pool parties.
We forced it hard with the grill and the burgers and the hot dogs and the swimming.
It's Memorial Day, damn it. Yes, we're cooking out.
We're cooking out.
We're going to swim.
So yeah, it was good.
Okay.
So now back at it.
Good.
Yeah.
Back at it. Back at the mom game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on my issues. We're gonna work. I did wonder. I'm like, is it like a post surgery, or like, do I need my uterus to have a tolerance?
Ooh, yeah.
Like, what if there's something there?
Wonder if your uterus was soaking up all the alcohol. Now there's nowhere for it to go.
Exactly.
Not a bad theory.
There might be something there. So anyway, go Mavs. Game 5. We'll see. I mean, I don't think it's over. I think if Luka's hurt, it's over, because Luka's kind of our biggest weapon there. And he runs the show. So Rangers 6 in a row now that they've lost.
It's like 84 straight road losses. It feels like this is never going to end. It's awful. Yeah.
So like when we're like, well, what positives can we draw? Is there, I mean,
Adolis Garcia.
He's still hitting home runs.
He's awesome. Yeah. I mean, he's totally kick ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably, if he keeps this up, he'll definitely be an all-star. I mean,
you would think, yeah,
lighting the world on fire.
What do you think about
so fun.
Like we should trade him talk.
No, you gotta we can't. I mean, I guess his value would never be higher, but for fuck's sake, you've got to have some stuff to build around.
That's the camp that I'm in.
You know?
Yeah. Like, we finally get excited. Let's trade him. It's like, you don't even know what you're going to get. You don't know how much value he's going to have, because this could be a flash in the pan kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, to have someone like that you can call your own.
When you look at a guy like Joey Gallo, you're talking about, a guy who's coming up on free agency. So that's that's a different scenario, totally different scenario in my opinion.
Right.
With Adolis Garcia, he is a, quote unquote cheap player that you've got under control for a long period of time.
Yeah. And
yeah, I mean, unless the deal was ridiculously good, I wouldn't do it. But I'm also not running a
I'm glad you
franchise.
Agree with me. And yes, neither of us are running a franchise. So one thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit, well, actually two things. Do you want the sportsy thing or do you want the mommy thing?
Let's go sportsy. We're pretty sports heavy right now.
Sportsy. So this whole like Naomi Osaka thing has been in the news. We talked about it some at work today, but Naomi Osaka, like the number one ranked tennis player in women's tennis and the French Open starting this week. So she made a statement saying that she didn't want to take part in the media availability ahead of her match, like her first match, or basically the whole thing. She just didn't want to do it. And she said that for her, it creates a lot of problems for her because people are asking her, and this happens a lot in sports, like ahead of a big game, they kind of nail down on your weaknesses and then they talk to you about it. And for somebody like her, she said that really affected her too much. And it got in her head. And when they get in her head, it makes her not play as well. And she's like, I'm just not going to do it. I hope that, and this was all on Instagram, by the way, because she's, 20 or whatever. And that's what people do. I guess even adult, whatever, you know what I mean? Everybody's talking about talking on Instagram these days. So she posted this all like in a statement on Instagram and saying she hopes that the fine, that same amount or whatever that she pays in a fine, they can give back to a mental health charity. It was this whole thing. And it was like, interesting. Okay, I see what you're saying. Like that makes sense. But it's also interesting because you're an athlete and you kind of have to talk. They all do. But she's got her own thing going on. So that turned into, like everything, it's like a firestorm and everybody's weighing in. It becomes this like a story that is a lot bigger than I think she ever intended. And people were asking all the other players about it. So then you're in essence creating another mental health thing for other people who are then having to answer your questions because you made this statement and you're not going to partake in the media availability. Well, everybody else is. So they all run to everybody else and say, what do you think? So then she drops out of the tournament. She drops out of the whole French Open. She's like, this created something that I wasn't intending. And I think I'm a distraction now. So I'm just not going to play and I'll catch y'all the next tournament. And I think that happened just yesterday and caught a lot of people off guard. And it created this whole just thing where everybody's talking about athletes and mental health and talking to the media because it is a part of their job. You and I, obviously, like that's a big part of our show. It's a big part of your day-to-day job. I covered the Stars for a long time and it's just part of the deal. Like you talk to the media. When this is this dialogue's opened up, like it makes me think about it a lot more. So I was wondering your thoughts. I mean, it's something that it seems like the players have to do, or they face some sort of penalty. And is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I see the mental health aspect of it. And if it, you know, if it does cause her trauma or whatever, that she doesn't feel like it's something that she necessarily needs to do or has to do or wants to do, that's absolutely her prerogative. But I think that you also have to consider the fact that when you have a certain job and when there are certain requirements of it, and so it's up to, you know, your employer to determine whether or not that's something, you know, that you have to participate in.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's just interesting that it's kind of sparked the whole conversation of like, do we even need to hear from players?
Right.
I'm like, well, yeah, I think we do, but do I think that way because that's just the way it's always been done and because we've created jobs in media, or do we really need to? It's an interesting.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on the player. I mean, it helps that she's the number one ranked player in the world, and she doesn't necessarily need. She doesn't, you know, she can control her own narrative. She's got her own social media channels. She's got, you know, ways to communicate with fans, all that kind of stuff. But at some point in time, are you doing a disservice to the game that you're trying to grow because of you choosing not to speak?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it totally makes sense. It'll be interesting to see what happens in that. And like, I wonder if any other big name players are going to start speaking out about it. So she's not playing in the French Open. So we'll see what happens there. I love tennis. I love following women's tennis. So I was kind of shocked by that because she is somebody who has been winning a lot of tournaments.
But I mean, look, the times, they are changing. And so traditional media is not what it used to be. Athletes, public figures, everybody has control of their, you know, public persona to a certain extent. And so, you know, you're going to see more and more athletes and entertainers, all those kind of things, kind of flexing their muscles in a way to where if they don't feel like doing something, then they're not going to do it. And it's their prerogative, you know. I just don't think it's a good thing for the sports entities. You know, I don't think it does anything to grow your brand as an organization or as a sport.
Yep. So. I agree.
Okay. What's the non-sportsy thing?
Well, maybe we need to talk a little bit about social media and what your favorite app is or your favorite outlet is. And maybe if you have any pet peeves. I know that Facebook was like really big. So Facebook started when I was in college. I remember you had to have a college email address in order to even be on Facebook. Yeah. And for some reason, like Mizzou was one of the first schools that got in on it or something. I don't remember, but that's how I remember it starting. And then it was like all of a sudden more and more and more. And then it's moms and grandmas, great grandmas.
I feel like it's like the older. Yeah. I feel like older. It's an older thing now.
And some people are like really
like, so I was helping my niece
really into it,
get in or register for Sorority Rush or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was asking for social media handles. And so she's got a TikTok and an Instagram. And I'm like, what's your Facebook handle? She's like, I don't have Facebook.
Oh, they don't even have it.
No.
Like the young cool kids.
No, they don't have Facebook. It's like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Snapchat.
I guess the only reason now, like I engage in Facebook, I mean, I still get on it and check it out, but I talk to family, not talk to, but I know that we've got tons of family in Canada and family all around and they like seeing pictures of the kids and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like
it's pretty political on Facebook.
It is.
There's a lot of the politics.
Is it more like
there's a lot of
ladies, older people.
Listen, and we've been over my mom and her stories on Facebook.
Update on that? Is she still?
She's still on. She's still as far as I know.
Now that Trump's out of office.
Yeah, I mean,
does she have any more
ruffling any feathers? No.
Yeah.
No. There's not a whole lot to
not a whole lot of substance there.
No, exactly.
Not much more to bitch about. But yeah, so some of the things on Facebook, like I'll get tagged in and I go look at it and it's like something where it's saying like, if you don't repost this. Like, you don't care about mental health or you don't care about
Cancer.
Yep. Like, if you know someone that's been affected by cancer, make sure you repost this. And if you don't, well, I guess you like cancer.
Basically, like, you suck if you don't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not, it's like, remember chain letters?
Yes.
Like, F that. No, I'm not doing a fucking chain letter. Same thing with like the recipe bullshit. Send 7 people, 7 different recipes, and then you'll get 800 recipes. I'm like, I don't need 800 recipes.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Don't do that. I don't want to be a part of that. Don't. If you send it to me, it's stopping. It's not going anywhere. So I hate that. The whole guilt trip about like, don't just read this. Don't just like it. Don't just comment on it. Repost it onto your page. Oh, and I'm like, why are you doing this to me?
Right. Why are you attacking
bad?
me? I was just trying to like scan the book.
Right. I know.
Just want to see what's going on. And I feel like I have to repost this thing or like I'm going to get cancer.
Yeah.
What if it was like, if you don't post this, you won't wake up tomorrow morning.
Right. Yeah.
I might do it then. Like, what if
no.
You wouldn't?
No. Come on.
I don't know. The things are a little out of control. Ryder got invited to, over the summer, it was a chain letter type thing where it was like, fill out this and then send it back. Yeah. And you sent, I think, stickers. And so like each kid would get like stickers in the mail. So it was like, cool. The concept is great.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, don't forget the stickers. Don't forget to do it. Don't forget to do it. And I made like, I had to go make copies of it and
so much
blah,
work.
blah, blah. And then I finally like forgot the fucking stickers. Like I didn't do it. Like it sat there on the desk forever. And I was like, dang it. Now Ryder's like the one kid that's keeping this thing from going on.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That leads into my other quick hit up. Well, actually, to stay on social media. What do you think about TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on it. I'm not
on it either. But Instagram is kind of turning into TikTok.
Is it?
Like those reels?
Oh, yeah.
So when I was after the surgery, like I didn't have much going on, and I'm used to just always having something going on. So I was on Instagram way too much, and it was not good. Like I can see where that is like bad for your mental health. But all of a sudden, I'd be sitting there and like, instead of napping or something, I'm like going through watching these freaking strangers dancing, like dancing with their kids, dancing with their husband, like making family TikTok videos. And you're like, at first you're like, it's so dumb. But then I'm like, oh, maybe I should be like dancing with my kids and making a TikTok video. They must be a really great mom.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I get famous from it.
For like 5 seconds during the pandemic. And then I was
You
like,
did?
Oh, yeah. When we were like on lockdown and like we opened a TikTok account or whatever. And like, then I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
I know.
Get off. You're too old for this shit.
I know. It's like a weird, it's like, well, you watch so many of them that it like normalizes
and you
it.
see some and there's some moms out there that have got some moves. I mean, and it's like, get it, girl. I mean,
I've got some moves.
I mean, like
were
legit.
you a dancer in your last life? How do all these moms have these freaking moves?
Well, Anna, how do you have the bandwidth to memorize a fucking dance
No
at this point in your life? Like,
and then
good
they
for
always
them.
look so cute.
Oh, they're
and they like
adorable.
follow the trends. Like they've got their hoodie on and their joggers or whatever it is. I'm like, man, I suck. Like I couldn't make a TikTok if my life depended on it. That was actually cool.
Maybe
and
we
cute.
should have a bet payoff as a TikTok video.
Okay. So we have to make a bet.
First of all, we have to make a bet.
Or we could just do a mom game TikTok. And just see what comes out of it. And try to do a TikTok.
You have to download the app and do all that shit.
You know that one? I don't know the dance, but I like the song. That's the thing. They're all catchy.
So my over Christmas or Thanksgiving, one of those holidays, my daughter Hattie did one with my niece Sydney, and she was like this, and I loved it. It was like, what you know about love.
Yeah.
I got what you need. And I mean, Hattie was like so cute. I was like, this is
That's
adorable.
the thing. They're kind of cute.
So, okay. I mean, you have to do all the stuff and then I'll just show up and dance.
That's scary if I'm doing the stuff. I can't dance for shit.
Well, don't we just copy somebody?
I think you copy someone. Like I saw this one, it was like this little Hispanic kid and he like, oh my God, he was so good. He had just the best moves. And I found myself like addicted. I was like, I want to see more of this kid. Like,
and here's the deal. If you're like young and cute, your dancing is cute. If you're old and cute, your dancing is cute. Right. It's like in the middle. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, I like the people who are always like a step behind.
Right.
But like they think they're good.
So it's like, they're
trying to get in on the trend. It's like, no, girl, just do.
If you're like,
sit this one out, go back to Facebook.
Under 8 and over 80. It's like the safe space in TikTok. Everything else is like, what's going on here? It's listen, it's what the kids are doing. Like,
I know.
They do it to be cute and look at me.
And then I find myself, though, killing
Seductive.
time watching it instead of doing more important things.
Yeah. Well, go find us a dance.
Okay. I'm going to find us a dance. That's going to be our homework for next week. Mom game tick. Are we going to do a whole account or just, we'll make an account and we'll do one dance.
Yes, that'll be our featured content.
It'll be the featured. And maybe we can like do a TikTok. I don't even know how a challenge where people that listen can do their own, like copy our dance.
Okay. That means you have to choreograph.
Do you dance
something.
at all?
Oh, I get down. I mean,
But like, are you a decent dancer?
I mean, I like to think so after
She's
a
a
few
good
glasses
dancer.
of wine.
She's a good dancer.
I mean, I feel like I have some rhythm. I mean, I'm not afraid, but I'm not like a trained dancer. Like, nor am I a choreographer. So you get after that.
My dancing is absolutely terrible, but I might be confident after a few drinks too. Okay. So that's our mom game TikTok challenge coming up. Make sure you don't miss it. We also have some big guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're really excited about, we're going to lean a little harder into the athlete side of things for the next couple of shows. And this was a pretty sportsy show too.
Yeah.
Sportsing so hard.
Sportsing so hard.
Over here on the mom game.
Momming so
Em's
hard.
got to go sports so hard.
Sports so
some
hard.
more.
Let's try to get these Rangers back on track.
They need some help.
Yeah.
Give them a good tip. Whisper in their ear. Tell them what to do.
Well, listen to me, I'm sure.
Cheers.
All the good stuff.
All right. Until next time.
Until next time.
Mom game out.